Hi everybody, welcome to another Mended Records studio build video. I'm John Millay and we are building a recording studio here in my shop. Today we're going to be working on the ceiling joists. In a previous video you saw me install the ceiling joists here in the studio room where I'm standing. Today we need to install the ceiling joists in the office. And there's a couple things that we need to do to make that happen. When I installed these joists, my plan was to overlap the joists over this center wall right here. But if I did that, the joists in the office room would kind of be offset by that 2.5 inch or whatever thickness of the joist. And that would kind of make it a little bit difficult to do our drywall and our plywood and everything. So I did some research and I realized that there's enough room to butt the joists up against each other over this center wall. So what we need to do is we need to trim the joists that are already installed here because I left those longer so that they would overlap. So we need to trim these joists. We need to cut the joists that we're going to be installing in the office room. We need to cut the profile to fit under that roof slope, and we also need to cut them to length. And then lastly, we're going to be installing blocking. Now, I'm going to install blocking at all of the bearing points, so at each end wall and also here over the center wall. But right now I only have enough blocking to do one section. So today we're going to do the blocking over the center wall, and then I'm going to get some other material and finish the blocking on another day. I won't show you that in a video. It'll be the same process basically as the blocking that we do over the center wall here. Except we may need to trim the top of the block just a little bit to fit under that roof slope. So other than that, it's going to be all the same. So I guess that's everything by way of introduction. I'm going to get started working and hope you enjoy the time lapse and the rest of the video. So trimming these joists was a bit of a trial and error process for me. The first few did not come out as nice because I started by trying to use a Sawzall. That didn't work very well. Then I tried using the end cutting saw that you're going to see me break out here in a second. I finally settled though on this process of using the handsaw and the end saw in combination, and that gave me some nice straight cuts. The ones that weren't as nice and straight, they were good enough, so thankfully, it wasn't bad enough that I had to take any joists down and replace them. So this was, kind of a hassle, but it worked out fine, and we got her done. You've seen this part of the process. We use a jig to get a line there that we can cut, and that part goes in under the slope. Now we're using another jig to get a nice straight cut as we cut these to length. So as you can see, this post is twisted and it's bowed at the top, and it's going to get in the way of our wall covering and also of getting the joist up there positioned where we need it. So I'm trying to figure out how to cut this. I realized I could tape a pencil to the end of this smaller level here, and I ran it against the studs, and then that helped me find exactly where this post was coming proud of the wall. So it would have been great to have an electric plane or a belt sander to do this job, but I didn't have either one, so I kind of just had to figure out how to do it. So I ended up using the end cutting saw, the chisel, the hand saw. I even got the Sawzall out here. And it was Again, you know, a bit of a hassle, hard to do with the wrong tools, but we made it work. Now we're getting that joist fitted in there. Had to remove a little bit of foam. You know me, I love to clean up. It's hard for me to work in a space that's dirty and cluttered and disorganized. And man, it's just so satisfying to clean up. And it's satisfying to watch. So now we're nailing the joists in. Just one nail on each side of the bottom flange there. I don't really know what the top and bottom pieces are called, but one nail on each side. It's kind of hard to squeeze in that tight spot next to the truss there, but we make it work. Now, I don't show it here, but I accidentally cut one of these joists too short. The joist on that far end of the wall there, above the door, I cut it too short. That one actually isn't butted, so I wanted it to go the full width of the center wall, but I cut it too short. So I ended up actually having more material to use for blocking than I thought I would. So you see me there measuring for the center blocking, and then we are actually going to do blocking on one of the end walls, and then I had to actually just order I ordered two more joists, so that I could replace the one that I messed up and then have another one to finish out the blocking. So that was basically the process for the center blocking. I don't know if my camera died or if I just decided that that was a good enough sample of the process, but I didn't record any more of that. Now we're measuring for the end blocking. And now we're cutting that joist that I cut too short. We're going to cut that up and use it for blocking. I did rough cuts with my handsaw, and then I cut everything to exact length on the table saw there. And you're going to see me in a minute set my saw on a bevel so that I could cut the top. There we go. The top flange or whatever of these pieces of blocking. We cut it at an angle in line with that roof slope so that we can fit them in. So once I started installing them, I realized that it was hard to get the nails in the top flange because we cut off a lot of that material. So some of the nails were skipping up and out of the top. So you can see I had my screw gun there. Whenever the nails were skipping out, I would just pull those nails out and then replace them with a screw, which was a lot easier just to get straight in where I wanted it to go. So that's about that for this video. In the next video, I'm going to be working on electrical. We're going to be installing gang boxes for switches and outlets. We're going to be installing wiring. We're going to be getting things, wiring and things set up for the lights. So join us next time. We'll be tackling some electrical stuff, and we're going to be super careful not to get electrocuted because that would be awful. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.